Okay, so we're going to be taking a look at the Wurkkos TS10 SG, the smallest light I've probably got in my collection. It's a 14500 cell light. It uses a SFT25R emitter and also 3 RGB Aux LEDs. So this light is quite a powerful light for its size. Actually, it's a very powerful light for its size. Puts out 1650 lumens at a 294 meter range using a TIR optic. IP68 light, weighs only 34 grams, so it's a very small, very compact light. And yeah, let's just give you a bit more of a comparison of its size, because when I first got this light I just couldn't get over just how nice and compact it felt. So it's really similar to it's really similar to a 21700 cell, I'd say. That's what I would compare it to. That's the kind of size comparison that I would say. The 21700 is maybe slightly bit wider, but in terms of sort of height, yeah, that's kind of where it's at. So that's a AA battery to give you an idea of size. And we've got an 18650 just next to it as well, which is just a bit shorter than the Wurkkos. But yeah, it's just such a great size, this little light. So this works on the Android version 2, so I'll let you know a little bit more about that. Looking at the box, it's pretty basic packaging it comes in. There's not too much you get in here, so it just shows you it's working off the SFT25R. There's a pocket clip included in the light. Comes with a pocket clip. I haven't fitted this to the light because I've really been enjoying this sort of minimalistic look of the light. It's such a nice small size. I don't really make use of pocket clips in general for these size lights. I prefer to just enjoy them at their minimum sort of form factor. The only other thing you kind of get in the box is a user manual. You don't get a cable in this box because unlike a lot of Wurkkos lights, this one is not USB-C rechargeable, or there's no onboard charging with this. So that's just one thing just to bear in mind if you don't have a separate dedicated charger. That's one thing just to bear in mind. So you get the user manual. So with this, it shows you the Android 2. So there's probably more. There's probably a lot more guides out there. You can Google Android just to have a look at the features of it. So I'm not going to go too much into detail with the Android because there's other videos in there that go quite in depth, and you can kind of get lost with it. So in this video I'm going to let you know what features I use. So I've got it in the advanced Android mode, but I'm only going to show you the features that I use with this that I'm familiar with. So yeah, there's some stats there on the output of a light if you want to pause there, and you can see the performance figures. Okay, so you can see the light flashing there. It's got the RGB lights going away. Right, so okay, so I had the light in locked out mode there. 4 clicks takes you into lockout mode. When you're in, this is all going to be one when you're in the advanced, when you're in the advanced Android UI. So 1 click gets you to on. If I keep the light pressed, I can go between the settings, between the different power settings from minimum to minimum to maximum. If I do 3 taps, I can switch to the smooth ramping mode, and it'll blink to let me know once I've reached either minimum or maximum. Keep it pressed, and I can go back and forth. I don't really like the smooth ramping mode. I like to have the pre-configured level, so 3 clicks gets you back to those modes. What else do I like? So when the light's off, I'll let you know a turbo. So double tap gets you to turbo. So that's a double tap. When the light goes off, it sort of displays its little RGBs for a little while, and then the light will go off, and you can configure these RGBs whilst the light's completely off to whichever mode you like. So by doing 7 taps from off, you can cycle between what you want the light to do when it's kind of the main beam is off. So we can go through that now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So now it's gone to like a blue. I believe you can change those colours as well. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So now it's gone to flashing fairly bright between the purple. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now it's completely off. So if you don't want to drain your battery, not that this feature I find drains battery much at all when you have it in fairly low mode as well. 7. So that's going to have the light just constantly on. So there's a TIR optic there. There we go, back to blue. We've got the flashing mode there. And that's off. So you can kind of play around with that and change it to how you want to have it. So yeah. So I just locked the light there by pressing it 4 times, and then when you try and turn the light on, it'll just come on a very low level. I just wanted to bring you into this TIR, such a beautiful little light, I think. Okay, so just to open this up a little bit. So it comes supplied with a 14500 battery, 900 milliamp. So it comes supplied with a light. So yeah, no onboard charging with this. So that's one thing, like I say, just to bear in mind. Okay, so let's go to some outdoor footage and see how this performs. Okay, so we've got the Wurkkos TS10 SG straight into turbo, and wow, just such a tiny little light. It's just doing such a good job of illuminating the path. So this is just such a tiny little light, and it's just doing an immense job of just lighting up everything we need to see. I mean, in the past I've had lights which are 18650, twice the size of this, twice the weight. That wouldn't put out this much light. And yes, we'd have to remember that this may not be able to have the run times of those lights, but for a tiny little light, you know, I can just fit in your jeans pocket. It's really impressive. It's got a good amount of throw to it as well. Nice bit of spill, nice bit of flood, quite a nice beam pattern to it as well. It's not dropping down dramatically, it's not heating up awfully either, so yeah, it's really impressive. Okay, so that was the outdoor footage, and just before we go into the conclusions and letting you know what I like and what could be improved, guys, do drop a like to this video, and if you are enjoying the content of the flashlights, please subscribe. It really helps a small channel like mine out. So from the footage, I hope you kind of got what I got, because I am really blown away by the performance of such a tiny light. I've got some larger lights, some 18650s, 21700. I think this Convoy works on 26800 or something huge like that, and they are more powerful, but just for a quick blast of light, or even, you know, for a fairly sustained period, you need a good amount of light. This is just unbelievable. I'm just really blown away for the amount of light you get from just such a small form factor, and that's just the amazing thing that's just kind of blown me away. It's just such a compact size. So this has lived in my pocket for the past few months now. I've had this every day in my jeans pocket for the past few months, because it's just so unnoticeable. You just really don't notice it. You know, like, you know, you've got you might have your phone in your pocket, your keys, but it's just such a tiny little form factor. You can barely tell it's there. And then when you need a blast of light, the amount of light it produces, it's just incredible. You know, so I'm just completely blown away by this light. It's been my EDC for a good few months now, and yeah, probably will remain my EDC for a near distant future at least. So with that, I will just let you know my pros and cons and my conclusions. So as I've just kind of given away the things that I really do like about it, the small size factor, it's just really compact. Absolutely love the size. The power you get for the size is just unbelievable. I do like the RGBs. You know, they are quite fun to play around with if you like to customize. The Andril 2, you might love it or you might hate it, depends if you like to have the options to sort of customize. You know, there's a lot of customization you can do, but personally I think it's nice to have the option, and you can turn it to a simple UI as well. You know, something to bear in mind. And it's built really nicely as well. It feels like a nice, you know, solid unit. Just bring you into the tail cap button there, so it's like a little button switch. You know, it all feels fairly solid. So yeah, that's what I do like about it. I personally would say the only thing that is a negative that I'd like to see improved is just some onboard charging would be nice to see. So if you know, are just getting into flashlights and you're being spoilt by, you know, a lot of lights these days have, you know, onboard charging, like, you know, Convoy, for example, of onboard charging in models such as M3C, and a lot of their new lights have onboard charging. Sofern, this is the SR15 with the quad LEDs, onboard charging, USB-C, and you can use it as a power bank as well. Wurkkos TD10 this one also has the onboard charging. So maybe this doesn't come with it because it just maybe such a small form factor, or they just couldn't work it in, or maybe it's to keep costs down. I'm not sure, but personally, when I first got this, I was kind of a bit anxious about running out of battery on this, because I do like just to be able to plug my lights in wherever I am, in the car, at work, at home, with a USB-C cable, because we all have them everywhere around us these days. But I've been using this, and as I've been using it, I'll generally get around maybe 10-20, maybe around 10 minutes actually on average per day of continuous use. It's generally only used this kind of thing for short bursts, because if you know you're going for a walk or a hike, when you need a bit more power, you'll probably reach out for something a bit larger. But this has lasted me at least a good week or so without charge, and when I did put it on my charger, I think it still had about 7% left, and that was probably after around 2 weeks of use. So I will say the battery performance on this is quite impressive. So maybe it's down to the emitter, I'm not sure, but I was quite impressed with the battery performance. That said, it would be nice to have onboard charging, but that's certainly not put me off carrying this every day, like I say, in my pocket for the last few months. So to conclude, if you're looking for a small compact EDC which has a lot of power, I 100% recommend picking this light up. Like I say, I've carried this myself for the last few months, and I'm just absolutely blown away. You've seen the footage of how it performs in the night time. If you were to sort of see that sort of beam profile, that sort of power and light, you just wouldn't believe it's coming out of something so small. Like I've had people comment on the how bright the light is that I'm using, and then when they see it's just coming out of such a tiny little light, it's just they can't believe it, because lights this type of size that you get from like stores, supermarkets, for example, hardware stores, they don't put out anywhere near this sort of power, so it's it's just I'm completely blown away by this light, and I would 100% recommend picking it up if you're after a nice little EDC. So yeah, that's the review on the Wurkkos TS10 SG. Thanks for watching, guys.